Chapter 24 of Drona Parva, Drona touched to the quick. Arjuna recited the incantation for the withdrawal of the great Pashupata. As soon as it was withdrawn, a cool breeze blew on the field. It bore the perfume of 1,000 flowers with it. Krishna got out of his chariot and embraced Arjuna. He was so relieved at the thought that Arjuna's life had been saved. The Kaurava heroes had all left the place. They had not been able to save Jayadratha. He had been killed even as they were all looking on. Duryodhana wept tears of humiliation. Bhima set up such a shout that the four quarters resounded in echo. Yudhishthira knew that Jayadratha had been killed. He heard the Devadatta and Panchajanya making music. Arjuna fell at the feet of Krishna and said, "Lord, this is all your doing. Without you, no one can do anything. You helped me across this great ocean and made me fulfill my promise to my child. With your grace, Yudhishthira will rule the world after the death of all these sinners. You are our guide in the path of truth." Krishna smiled a pleased smile at the words of Krishna. He showed the field to Arjuna and said, "Today Satyaki and you have destroyed 7 Akshohinis of their army. In fact, Satyaki has caused more havoc than even you. Look at the field." They hurried to the presence of Yudhishthira. On the way, Krishna told Arjuna why the head of Jayadratha had to be dropped on the lap of his father. He said, "Brihat Kshatriya, the father of Jayadratha, got this son after performing a great penance. He obtained the boon that his son could not be killed by ordinary men and by ordinary methods. He would be killed only by the greatest of the heroes and by the greatest of all weapons. The boon was granted. Not satisfied with that, the father wanted another boon. He wanted the head of the man who made the head of Jayadratha fall on the ground, to split into 1,000 fragments. That boon was also granted. That was why I wanted you to take the head of Jayadratha to his father, so that he may be the one to drop it on the ground." They reached the presence of Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira jumped down from his chariot and hurried to embrace Arjuna. His eyes were raining tears. "Thank God for this," said Yudhishthira. "Arjuna, you are alive. Krishna, I am happy to see you alive." He embraced Satyaki and Bhima. He was delirious with joy. He said, "Krishna, you are the one person who has made this possible. I am sure nothing else is responsible for the success of Arjuna except your grace. Arjuna was able to keep his oath because you had decided that he should not fail." His voice was choked with tears. Krishna said, "No, Yudhishthira, you are wrong. Jayadratha was killed because of the fire of anger which blazed in your eyes yesterday. A good man's anger is more powerful than anything else on this earth. Your anger was the cause of the success of Arjuna in this inhuman task he had undertaken." For the first time in his life, Duryodhana realized that the words of Bhishma were true and that it was not possible to defy Arjuna. Duryodhana was alone in his tent, thinking of the events of the day and the many days that had gone by. He realized that no one could equal Arjuna. Not Drona, nor Kripa, nor Ashwatthama, nor even Radheya. No one could be called the equal of Arjuna. He had crossed the army without anyone to help him, and he had destroyed the army. He had killed Jayadratha while they were all watching, and no one could stop him. Depending on all these people, Duryodhana had treated the words of Krishna as foolish. He had warned him of all this when he was in Hastinapura. His uncle Vidura had been warning him again and again of the power of Arjuna. But he had not listened to him. Duryodhana was speechless with awe. He went to Drona and spoke to him. He wanted someone to comfort him. Radheya was just as unhappy as he was. Duryodhana was in the tent of the Acharya. He was in tears. He said, "Look, my lord, at the ruin wrought in our army by that single warrior Arjuna. Look at the number of kings who have lost their lives for my sake. I made our grandfather Bhishma the first commander. He cannot die. Such a man has been made to fall by Arjuna. Today, Arjuna and Satyaki have destroyed 7 Akshauhinis. So many kings came to my help. They fought so that I may become Lord of the world. And now they have all reached the abode of death. They have lost their lives for me, and I am alive. I am like a cowherd who cannot fight. I have lived to see the death of my dear friends. They have suffered for my sins. I know that 100 Ashwamedas will not wash off this sin of mine. I have failed my friend. I had promised to Jayadratha that not a hair of his head would be touched. When I think of Jalasandha, that great hero, my heart is ready to break. Sudhakshina is dead. Srutayush and Achyutayus and Shrutayuddha, who were invincible, are all dead. Vinda and Anuvinda, those valiant brothers, are gone. Alambuza is gone. I am the cause of the death of all of them. I have nothing left to live for. I will avenge the death of all these friends of mine. I will kill all the Pandavas and the Panchalas and satisfy the souls of the dead. I will kill them or I will die and join my friends who have reached heaven. I have to avenge the death of Jayadratha and Bhurishravas. I will go now. Drona was sorry for the king who was so unhappy. He could not bear to see the tears in the eyes of Duryodhana. He said, "My dear Duryodhana, it is well known that Arjuna is invincible. We are trying not to face the truth. It is not possible for anyone to face Arjuna. Let us not think of the past. We can do nothing about it. I will try my best to please you. I promise you that I will not remove this armor of mine until all your enemies are killed. Either that or I will die. I will fight till there is no breath in my body. My son Ashwatthama will also fight with me. I will not allow these people to sleep tonight. We will have a fight during the night also. I will fight to the best of my ability." Drona set out for the battlefield. Duryodhana and Radeya set out together for the field. On the way, Duryodhana said, "Look how the Vyuha was broken by Arjuna and how Jayadratha was killed. We were all guarding him and yet he was killed. My army has been destroyed. More than half has been destroyed in one day by Arjuna and Satyaki. I am sure the Acharya allowed Arjuna into the Vyuha because Arjuna is his favorite pupil. Or else, Radeya, how could this have happened? How could Arjuna get past Duryodhana if he had not been allowed to do so?" Drona had given assurance to Jayadratha that he would protect him and he let him down by allowing Arjuna into the Vyuha. "If I had known this, I would have allowed Jayadratha to go back to his kingdom last night. He was so frightened and this man assured him that he would not be killed. And he has allowed Arjuna to kill him. Look at this army. Every dead man bears arrows marked with Arjuna's name. So many of my brothers have been killed today. I am very angry with Drona." Radeya was not pleased with the words of Duryodhana. He said, "You must not talk like that about our Acharya. He is fighting as well as he can. He has tried his best. At his age, it is wonderful that he is doing so much for you. You must be grateful to him for that. That Arjuna cannot be defeated by Drona. Arjuna with his chariot drawn by the white horses, with Krishna as his charioteer, has managed to elude the Acharya. I do not think it is fair on your part to blame Drona for that. We all fought as well as we could, but still it was not possible to protect Jayadratha. I can only say that fate is more powerful than all the valor of man. Duryodhana, we try our level best to do something, but if fate has decided to do the opposite, there is no use in blaming it on each other. Fate watches our actions, but in the end it all ends as fate wants it. Everything we have done so far has been frustrated by fate. We can only try our best. The result is in the hands of fate. It is no use trying to defy fate. We can only hope for the best. Come, my friend, cast off this depression and fight. We will fight. Whether we win or lose is not ours to decide." They had reached the boundary of the army. The Pandava army was ready to fight. The fight was on. It was a dreadful sight. There was no sun to light up the battlefield. The two armies met in the dark. Drona fought as one inspired. Drona, Kripa, Radeya, and Duryodhana attacked the army of the Pandavas with such fury that it was not possible for them to escape death. The arrows poured out of the bow of Duryodhana in an unending stream. Bhima came to the rescue of his army. The others were also at the front defending the army. A duel was fought between Duryodhana and Yudhishthira. It looked as though each was bent on fighting till the end of time. Drona interfered and made the fight general. The darkness was a great hindrance to both the sides. In the light of the stars, they could see nothing. The arrows were sent just anyhow. No sure aim could be taken. It looked like blind armies fighting with each other. The javelins and shaktis which were being hurled, were looking like streaks of lightning illuminating the dark sky. Drona was trying his best to kill as many of them as he could. He wanted to be the sole destroyer of the army. Bhima was doing his share in the general slaughter. Some of the sons of Dhritarashtra came into his grasp. They were literally crushed by him. Somadatta met Satyaki in single fight. He was very angry with Satyaki for having killed his son Bhurishravas. The fight became dangerously intense. The old man had lost Sala already. He had now lost two sons in a single day. It was a terrible fight, and of course Satyaki was the more powerful of the two. Duryodhana had to go to the help of the old man. Drishtadyumna came to help Satyaki. Somadatta fainted and he was borne away from the field. Ashwatthama came to challenge Satyaki. Ghatotkacha also came to meet Ashwatthama. One look at the son of Bhima was enough to make the Kaurava army tremble with fear. His war cry at the sight of the army sent a shiver through the enemy ranks. Ghatotkacha had brought his team of Rakshasas with him. Night had come and their strength had increased. Ghatotkacha had begun to use his Maya tactics. Ashwatthama was one of the few who did not care for this stunt of Ghatotkacha. He used his astras to dispel the Maya. This made it worse. Ghatotkacha began to fight furiously with Ashwatthama. There was a wonderful duel fought between these two. Ghatotkacha's skill with the bow and arrow had not been seen by anyone so far. Ashwatthama now hurled a chakra in the direction of Ghatotkacha with the intention of killing him. Ghatotkacha evaded it very nimbly. He rose up in the sky and tried his Maya tactics once again. But it was all just futile in front of Ashwatthama. He had to descend and fight normally once again. The king was there. He was discouraged on looking at the team of Rakshasas. Ashwatthama comforted him and said, "Please do not worry, my friend. I will be able to tackle all their tactics and their masters too. You leave it all to me." Duryodhana returned to a spot where Shakuni was stationed. He sent Shakuni to fight with the Pandavas. Shakuni agreed and hurried to the front. Shri Krishna Pranamastha. Chapter 25 of Drona Parva, Radeya and Kripa. This was the first time the Pandavas saw Ashwatthama in a fury. He looked like Shankara when he was burning up the host of the Asuras. No one could stand up against his arrows. No one except Bhima's son. Ghatotkacha and the Panchala princes fought very well. But Ashwatthama killed most of the Panchala princes. Ghatotkacha was hurt. He fainted away and was carried out of the field. The Rakshasa army of Ghatotkacha suffered at the hands of Ashwatthama. The fight became more intense now. Seeing so many of his sons dead, Drupada fought valiantly. A duel was fought between Bhima and Bahlika. Bahlika was the father of Somadatta. No one was able to think of him as an old man when they saw him on the battlefield. He was so active, but Bhima was able to kill him by throwing a powerful mace at him. There was a great consternation at the fall of this ancient Kuru veteran. He was actually the oldest man alive in that group. Even Bhishma was younger. The sons of Dhritarashtra came to fight with Bhima, and he killed some 10 of them. Shakuni had arrived with his army. Some of his brothers were killed by Bhima. Yudhishthira was destroying the enemy army. Drona came to the rescue of his army. Drona tried all the astras he had in his possession to harass Yudhishthira, but they were all counteracted by Yudhishthira. The astras presided over by Varuna, Yama, Agni, Twashtar, Savita were all frustrated. Even Indra's astras was futile. In great anger, Drona tried to send the Brahmastra against Yudhishthira. He sent it and it was warded off by the same astra by Yudhishthira. Everyone was watching the duel. Cries of joy could be heard from the side of the Pandavas when they saw the fine display of Yudhishthira. Drona had to abandon the fight with Yudhishthira and turn his attention to the rest of the army. The army was not able to stand the sight of this man who had become so very cruel. Arjuna and Bhima came to the front and began to fight with Drona. They were attacking him on both sides. The army of the Kuru king began to melt now. The brothers were just raining arrows on the army manned by Drona. It looked as though it would all be gone in a matter of moments. Duryodhana said, Radheya, you are my only hope. You must stop this river of death from overflowing. I am unhappy at the way things are shaping. Radheya said, I will go and fight with them. Not even Indra can save them from me. Please cast off this worry. I will go and kill that Arjuna and make you happy. If Arjuna is killed, their power will be gone. I have my Shakti with me. I will use it on him and he will be killed by his own father. I will go now and challenge the great Arjuna. You can see me. I will rout their army and I will defeat the Pandavas. I will kill Arjuna. Kripa was there listening to the talk between the two. He smiled despairingly at Radheya and said, Excellent, excellent. Your words indeed are wonderful. If it were possible to achieve everything with just words, then the Kaurava monarch has found the perfect man to steer him over these hard days. Radheya, you talk too much. You speak brave words in Duryodhana's presence, but I am yet to see the action that is meant to follow these words. You will certainly be defeated by the Pandavas once you meet them in battle. I have seen you in action. Hardly a few months ago, you gave us the pleasure of watching you when you fought with Arjuna on the outskirts of the city of Virata. Why do you talk so much? You could not meet just one man, Arjuna, and now you are saying that you will meet all the Pandavas who are led by Krishna? If you are really a man of action, you must act without talking so much about it. Be silent and let your hands speak for you. You are like the autumn cloud. It roars so much, but it does not give a drop of water. I know you will talk about how brave you are as long as you do not meet Arjuna. Once you meet him, we can see that your talk is all just talk. They say that a Kshatriya is good at action, that a Brahmin is good at speeches. I know that Arjuna is good at archery. As for Radheya, he is good at building castles in the air. Radheya was furious with Kripa. He said, Roar! Of course I will roar. All heroes roar when there is a prospect of a fight ahead. I do not see anything wrong in roaring. But your remarks, my lord, are insulting. I am not just a talker. I am sure of fighting well with the Pandavas. I know that Krishna is on their side. I will try to defeat them all to please my king. I will win the world and lay it at the feet of my king, who is the only friend I have. Kripa said, I say it again that you are just building castles in the air. I know that victory is theirs since Krishna is on their side. Arjuna is invincible. The Pandavas cannot be defeated since they have always been righteous. Yudhishthira is the image of Dharma. Arjuna is a great hero. He is not an easy opponent. It is just a matter of days now before Yudhishthira becomes lord of the earth. This is just bravado on your part. You will not be able to meet Arjuna. Why then should I talk of your defeating him? Radheya said, I agree with you when you say that the Pandavas are righteous, that Yudhishthira is the image of Dharma, that Arjuna is a great hero, that he is not an easy opponent. I grant all that. But I can defeat him. I have the Shakti which was given to me by Indra. It cannot fail. You dare not speak despairingly of that tool. If Arjuna is killed, there will not be strength enough in the other brothers to defy us. I know that I can give this world to my king in today's fight. But you are partial to the Pandavas. You are always talking well of them and ill of us. Another word like this from you, and you will make me so angry that I will lose all control. I will cut your tongue out with my sword. You will then not be able to talk in this strain. War is an uncertain thing. Victory is a difficult woman to woo. She has been favoring the Pandavas so far. Bhishma has fallen. Several of the brothers of the king are gone. Heroes like Bhagadatta, heroes who were considered invincible, are all gone. I can only say that fate is against us when I see so many of our heroes killed by the Pandavas. I do not believe that the Pandavas are more powerful. No, fate is responsible for their success so far. Fate is the most powerful. I will fight with them as well as I can, and the rest is in the hands of fate. I believe that fate is superior to me and not Arjuna. Radeya rushed at Kripa with his sword unsheathed. This was resented by Ashwatthama. He rushed up to Radeya and said, I will kill you for the way you are talking to my uncle. Duryodhana came to them and stopped Ashwatthama. Radeya said, Release him from your hold, my lord. He has always spoken like this to me. I will fight with him first. Kripa said, Duryodhana, we have all been allowing this man to talk like this since he is fond of you. Let Arjuna punish his arrogance. I am not going to think about it. Duryodhana said, Ashwatthama, please stop this. I beg of you. This is not the time for personal fights. I am depending on all of you to help me win the war. The army of the Pandavas is even now coming towards us. Please desist from this action of yours. I request you most humbly not to be angry with Radeya. He is very dear to me. The son of the Acharya was able to control himself since he was sorry for Duryodhana. Radeya took up his bow and went towards the enemy army. Jai Dhanteras. ಧನ್ವಂತರಿಯು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲರ ಮನಕಾಮನೆಯನ್ನು ಪೂರೈಸಲಿ. ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅರ್ಪಣಮಸ್ತು. Chapter 26 of Drona Parva, the midnight battle. The Pandava army saw Radeya advancing towards them. They said, Here is Radeya. His frown is terrible. He has always hated the Pandavas. He has decided to kill them. Radeya rushed on the army with the intention of destroying it. He was terrible with his bows and arrows. The army suffered at his hands. His fury was like that of Indra when he fought with the Asuras. The army was being harassed by him. Arjuna came up to defend his army. Looking at Arjuna, who had come up to fight a duel with him, Radeya's eyes lit up in anticipation. It was a splendid spectacle, this duel between the two. In the dark night, lit up by just the stars and the streaks like lightning made by the many arrows and javelins, the two fought, each bent on killing the other. Radeya was without his bow and chariot for a moment. Duryodhana was wild with Arjuna. He said, I will fight with the Pandavas and kill all of them. He went to help his friend. Kripa rushed to his nephew, Ashwatthama, and said, Duryodhana has gone to fight with Arjuna. He thinks that he can destroy the Pandavas. You must hurry now and guard the king, or else he will be killed in no time. In their anger against him, the Pandavas will burn him up, and it is essential that someone should go to his assistance. Ashwatthama hurried to the presence of the king. He said, Duryodhana, when I am here, why should you fight? My king, as long as we are all alive, there is no reason why you should come to the front. I will fight with Arjuna. I ask you to go back and watch. Duryodhana said, I am nervous. Your father, the great Acharya, protects the Pandavas since they are his favorite disciples. You have also been quite indifferent all these days. I thought that you are also like your father. Your prowess has been dormant so far. I am sure you are like this either to please Yudhishthira or perhaps is Queen Draupadi. It is my ill luck that all those who have affection for me have all either been defeated or killed. I depend on you to destroy the army of the Pandavas. Please go and attack them. Make it a matter of moments before they all reach the abode of Yama. Ashwatthama said, what you say is right. My father and myself are quite fond of the Pandavas, but we are just as fond of you too. We are able to keep our affections apart when we are fighting. Be assured of that. I am here. With Radeya, Shalya, Kripa, Kritavarma and my father, I will destroy the army of the Pandavas. You are of a very suspicious nature. That is why you distrust us. It is not right. I will fight to the last breath in my body. You will see my prowess today when I attack the Pandavas. He went out of the presence of Duryodhana to fight with the Pandavas. Ashwatthama fought with fury. There was no one who could stand up against the son of the Drona. Drishtadyumna came to meet him. They hated each other. Ashwatthama thought that he could avert the death of his father by killing Drishtadyumna. Their duel with words was more intense than their duel with their arrows. Each was hurling insults at the other. Each was burning the other with his eyes, and their fight was terrible. The army of the Panchalas had suffered a great loss because of Ashwatthama. He defeated Drishtadyumna by making him lose his bow and his chariot. There was loud cheering from the Kaurava host at the sight of this. The fight had become general once again. The king was bent on fighting with Yudhishthira. He was challenged by Bhima. The Pandava brothers on the one side and Drona, Duryodhana and the rest of them on the other side were engaged in fighting a desperate battle. Somadatta met Satyaki again. It was a wonderful duel. They fought for a long time. Finally, Satyaki killed Somadatta by sending a very sharp and strong arrow. Yudhishthira joined Satyaki in his fight. Drona came there. There was general slaughter on either side. Yudhishthira made Drona faint. Drona got up and sent the Vaya Vyastra. Yudhishthira counteracted it by sending the same Astra. Krishna hurried to Yudhishthira and said, Drona is bent on capturing you. Why do you go to him often? There is a man who has been born to kill him, and that is Drishtadyumna. Leave Drona to him. Bhima is fighting with the Kaurava monarch. Go there and join him. It is but right that a king should fight with a king. Yudhishthira agreed to it and went to the spot where Bhima was fighting with Duryodhana. The darkness was impenetrable. The soldiers began to destroy each other, thinking that they were all enemies. Drona and the king conferred and decided that the soldiers should hold torches, abandoning their weapons. They were all only too happy to do so. The field was suddenly lit up by millions of torches held in the hands of the ordinary soldiers. The same thing was done by the Pandava army too. The fight was now to become a series of duels between the several heroes. Duryodhana commanded his heroes to guard their commander. He said, there is no one on the side of the Pandavas capable of hurting our Acharya except Drishtadyumna. You must all prevent the two from meeting. There was a number of duels fought between the several heroes. It was a magnificent sight to see just the duels without the army to distract the attention. The field looked as bright as day with many torches that were illuminating it. Satyaki killed a king called Bhuri. Ghatotkacha was defeated by Ashwatthama. Bhima was able to defeat Duryodhana. Radeya met Sahadeva in a duel. Sahadeva fought wonderfully, but Radeya in a few moments had killed his horses and cut his bow. Sahadeva took up the sword in his hand. That was also cut by the great Radeya with a taunting smile lodged permanently on his lips. A mace was flung at Radeya by Sahadeva. That was also stopped by Radeya. Sahadeva jumped down from his chariot and caught up the wheel of his chariot and was ready to throw it at Radeya. With a single arrow, Radheya was able to arrest its progress. Poor Sahadeva was absolutely helpless and at the mercy of Radheya. With a smile which was more a sneer, Radheya came near Sahadeva and said, "My dear child, do not attempt the impossible. Go and look for your equal and fight with him. It is not good for you to fight with your superiors." Radheya could not kill his brothers who was at his mercy. He touched Sahadeva with the tip of his bow, even as he had done to Bhima, and thus insulted Sahadeva. Radheya said, "Your brother Arjuna is fighting there at the front. He is a great hero. You can go and join him, or you can go home." Radheya went away from the presence of Sahadeva. Amazed at the thought that Radheya did not kill him when he could have, Sahadeva proceeded towards the army of the Pandavas. Virata was defeated by Shalya, and Arjuna was able to defeat a king called Alla. Nakula was able to defeat Shakuni, and Kripa vanquished Shikhandi. Drona and Drishtadyumna met in a fierce duel. It would have continued longer, but remembering the instructions of Duryodhana, several of the heroes came to the defense of Drona. Drishtadyumna too was joined by the warriors in his side. The fight became general. Radheya was the star actor for the moment. There was nothing that could stop him and his arrows. Everyone suffered. Satyaki and Radheya fought a glorious duel. Wherever the handsome Satyaki went, all eyes were turned on him. Radheya and Satyaki were both familiar with all the astras, and the fight was interesting to watch. Their duel was not to be continued. There was help which came to both of them, and the fight became general. Radheya heard the twang of the Gandiva. He went to Duryodhana and said, "Arjuna has begun to destroy the army. This continuous music can mean only that I can hear the panic in our army because of his progress. Satyaki is with me. I will try to kill him. It will be quite easy. Please send some portion of the army to accost Arjuna. We will try to kill Satyaki and Drishtadyumna. Then nothing can stop victory from approaching you with open arms." Duryodhana and Shakuni went to attack Arjuna. Radheya went back to fight with Satyaki. The Pandavas had come to the help of Satyaki. The battle raged like a terrible storm. It had never been so fierce as it was that night. The prowess of Arjuna on one side and Radheya, Drona and Ashwatthama on the other was something that struck terror into the hearts of both the armies. Radheya managed to defeat Drishtadyumna. Arjuna and Bhima put new life into their army and advanced towards Radheya. Krishna was asking Arjuna to do his best to bring courage into the hearts of the soldiers. He saw Drona fighting with extreme vigor. Radheya was looking as though no one could stop him. He was working havoc. Everyone said, "It is not possible to face Radheya. He is like the god of death. We cannot face him." So saying, they ran away from the field. If a blade of grass moved in the breeze, they thought it was Radheya pursuing them. He had caused such a panic in the army of the Pandavas. Yudhishthira was terrified by this slaughter by Radheya. Arjuna said, "Krishna, Radheya is terrible today. Yudhishthira is frightened of the prowess of Radheya, and he has no hopes of the army surviving the night. I have to go to Radheya. I have to fight him now. Our army is suffering from the shafts of this man. Take me to him at once. I have to kill him." Krishna was not for it. He knew about the Shakti which Radheya had with him. In his fury, Radheya was sure to aim it at Arjuna. They would kill Arjuna. There was no doubt about it. Krishna said, "Arjuna, there are two people who can fight Radheya. One is of course you, and the other is Ghatotkacha. He can easily defeat Radheya. You can, in the meantime, fight with Drona and the others and prevent the capture of Yudhishthira." Unwillingly, Arjuna agreed to the suggestion of Krishna. He had wanted to fight with Radheya, but Krishna's warning about the safety of Yudhishthira was something to think about. He did not want any calamity to happen. It was also a fact that Ghatotkacha was good enough to fight with Radheya. Arjuna summoned Ghatotkacha. Krishna smiled at him and said, "We are all depending on you, Ghatotkacha, to help us. Now, look at this army of ours, it is being destroyed by Radheya. There is no one to oppose him except you. You are good at using Maya tactics. Try and destroy the army of the Kauravas. Fight with Radheya with your divine astras and kill him. You will be doing a service to the Pandavas. I cannot bear to see the Pandavas being defeated by Radeya. Arjuna will be fighting with Drona and Ashwatthama, aided by our commander Drishtadyumna. I wanted you to oppose Radeya. Listening to the words of Krishna, Ghatotkacha said, I will at once go and prepare for the fight. Arjuna said, my dear Ghatotkacha, you will have Satyaki with you. The two of you will certainly be able to work wonders. The great Ghatotkacha was very happy at the prospect of the fight ahead of him. He went to the presence of Radeya. Looking at him, the Kaurava army was terrified. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. ದೀಪಾವಳಿ ಹಬ್ಬದ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಭಗವಂತನು ಆಯುರಾರೋಗ್ಯ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕರುಣಿಸಿ ಪೂರ್ಣ ಆಯುಷ್ಯ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಸಂತೋಷದಿಂದ ಕಾಪಾಡಲಿ ಅಂತ ದೇವರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣಾರ್ಪಣಮಸ್ತು.